Welcome back to Personal Productivity Using Technology, and this is Dr. X, and we are reviewing the last chapter of Excel. By now we are Excel gurus, and we're looking at what-if analysis, which is a really cool tool in order to project, find different things depending on your goals, and what we've reviewed so far from the what-if analysis is data tables. So we created a 1 and 2 variable data table based on a set of steps. So really what we did was we tried to create a data analysis tool that we have a substitution value, a variable, a value that can change, and we would get a table with different outcomes. In our case, that was a car loan scenario, and we had to find different PMTs, PMT formula. We had to find different payments based on different interest rates. That's one variable data table, or 2 variable data table, different interest rates and different car loans. And we would do this by changing variables. In one case, the variable was B4, which was the corresponding interest rate in our PMTE. In the other case, the variable was B5. Whoops, escape, so that I don't change my PMT. In the other case, the variable was B5, actually B3, I'm sorry, which is the payment, the loan payment value. So that's a brief repetition of the data table. These are a little bit more advanced Excel scenarios, and we will you might need a little bit more practice, because yes, you are Excel gurus, but you might need a little bit more practice with the what-if analysis. This is an advanced chapter. So after we've looked at the algorithms, the sets of steps, the groups of steps which we can use to create a 1 variable or a 2 variable data table, now is the time to use the goal-seek tool of what-if analysis. And again, an algorithm. What's really cool is that we can follow these steps and have some goal-seek analysis, but we really need to understand what is the goal-seek. So the goal-seek, it's a tool that helps you identify and value needed to achieve a result. For example, if you want to pay off your student loans in 5 years, and you know that your student loans are let's say $20,000, and you want to pay this off in 5 years, the goal-seek tool is going to help you to figure out the payment. If you want to change the number of years to 2 years, it's going to help you figure out the payment. If you want to save $10,000 in 2 years, the goal-seek tool is going to help you figure out the payments to save this amount of money. So you have a goal. I want to pay off my loan. How much should I pay every month based on the interest of my loan and all of these different things? You have a goal. I want to save that much money in order to buy a house. How much should I save every month? I don't know. I have no idea. So the PMT can calculate the payments. However, the goal-seek can tell you how much you need to put aside to identify a future desired end result. Of course, we'll need to look at an example. You never understand my Greeklish. It's normal. It's theoretical at this point, so we definitely need to look at one example. And based on the steps, we are going to, escape. We are going to go to our Excel spreadsheet, which we downloaded from Blackboard, course tools, okay, course documents, Excel. And what we're going to do here is we're going to move to the second spreadsheet. And the second spreadsheet, and I'm sorry for that, I need to escape. The second spreadsheet has a beautiful formula that I have no idea what it is. Well, I'm lying. I know what this formula is, but you don't. So what do you do when you don't know what a formula means? Go to the Formulas tab, Insert Function. And that brings you the dialog box of the function arguments, and it also gives you help on this function. So I would really like you to go ahead and check the help, pause that video, and read this help. You will not be able to understand exactly what I mean unless you read the help. Don't worry, it's not too long. Just read the description, maybe an example. You don't have to do too much. You don't have to do much reading, I promise. And then come back. Welcome back. I hope you just paused and read the help on the future value function. This function calculates the future value of an investment. Here we're trying to see how much money we're going to save in a bank that gives us an interest rate of 4%. I wish every bank was giving us the interest rate of 4%. So that's a high interest rate. But assuming, let's say that you put your money in all of these investments that give you higher interest rate than just putting your money in a bank. And let's assume that you're getting this interest rate and you're saving money and your monthly savings are $500. The future value is going to tell you how much money you're going to have saved in 3 years, $19,000. That's very cool. So you can change any of these variables, and as you can see, these variables are used. First is B5, which is the interest rate. It's very similar to the PMT, actually. Second is the total number of savings, the total number of times, which is B6, the 3 years that you're going to be saving, multiplied by 12, which is the 12 months in the year. And finally, your payment amount, which would be your monthly savings. So that, assuming you know how much you will save every month, will give you how much your total savings will be at the end of the 3 years. But now let's say that you just have a goal to save, let's say, $30,000 in 3 years. If you have a goal like that, you cannot just change the savings, the total savings in here and type 30,000 because nothing changes. That's a dummy change. So I'm going to Control Z that change, undo that change, because what I need to find is how much should I save if I want to say how much money should I pay in my monthly savings in order to save $30,000 in 3 years. So anything from these variables you can change. Okay, you can change this to 5 years, and you'll see that if you are saving for 5 years, you're gonna accumulate $33,149.49. But this is just the variables of your future value. You can change this to 300, and of course, as you can guess, you will be saving just 11,000 less money than when you would save $500 every month. So these are the variables of your future value. But if you want to have a goal for your future value, how can you work this problem backwards, reverse engineer your goal, and see how much money you should save every month in order to achieve your goal of $30,000? So typing 30,000 in cell B7 will not do the job. I can guarantee you that. I just did it. Nothing changed. And that means that I didn't do the right thing because, you know, just a second ago I had with $500 savings every month, I would save 19,000 something. So that will not do the job, just dummy typing 30,000. I want to save 30,000 in 3 years. Here's what will do the job. Home. No, sorry. Data. What if analysis. Goal seek. And honestly, I don't remember this by heart. And as you can see, I just got confused with which tab to use. In any other case, I would click around the tabs, or I would try to think, well, this is something that has to do with my data, so maybe I should look at the data. So you may have noticed that I didn't click around, I went immediately to the data. So here, the goal seek tool, and going back to our algorithm, the set of steps, after I've clicked in the what if analysis in the data tools group, in the data tab, select the goal seek, and then I am on the third step. Enter the cell reference for the cell to be optimized in the set cell box. So the cell to change, the cell to be optimized is B7. That's the cell I want to change to the value 30,000 instead of 19,000. So I want to change this cell to the value 30,000, and based on the steps, enter the result you want to achieve. That's exactly what I just did. And then enter the cell reference that contains the value of the variable to adjust. So in my case, the value that needs to be adjusted so that I can save $30,000 by the end of 3 years is my monthly savings. I would probably have to save more than $500. So if I click OK, the goal seek tool gives me the solution. It says your monthly savings should be $787.72 if you want to save $30,000 in 3 years with a 4% interest rate. Which means that I worked the program backwardly. I said, I have this goal, how much should I save? Instead of saying, I'm saving that much, how much will I have by the end of my savings period? Finally, if you click OK, these values are going to take over in your spreadsheet. If you click cancel, you're going to have your old values. So I'm going to click OK, but you could evenly click cancel, and that would be great as well. So this is a great tool. Imagine, if you want to calculate different ways of paying off your loans or different ways of saving, that is a fantastic tool, the goal seek tool, and it's quite easy breezy, and you also have the steps in your course documents. So that's it with the goal seek tool. The next part will be the last part of the what if analysis with Excel. See you next time.